Hello, folks. This is Dan Hollifield with Last Man Standing. Thanks for showing up, and we're glad to have you. Let me bring in the guys. Here's Bill, and here's Josh, and we're just going to continue on from wherever we were at on Stupid O'Clock, like we usually do, and then we'll probably take a tangent off, left turn off the dirt road and down in the woods where the railroad train going clickety clack the whole way. So, oh, thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks
Where
for
were
having me.
we? Where were we? And we covered so much territory in Stupid O'Clock. I feel like Lewis and Clark here.
Yeah, we
So,
started off with uh, uh, Bezos' rocket launch, and then ended up changing brakes on Joe Dog's car.
Well, it was
Joe Dog will do that to you. He'll put you to work.
it it
it.
doesn't get any more roundabout than that.
Yeah, well, we show up at Hallowcon, we might wind up being staff before the first day is out.
Well, if I'm over there, I'll fix everybody's car.
And I just realized that I did not upload my Rising Tide schedule and the couple of videos I've been working on for whatever with the channel here. And I spent an evening playing around with some stuff this past week, and evidently I never finished it, and I never put it on the thumb drive to bring it over to this computer. So there's no way for the other two for the old one and the new one to talk to each other. So we just kind of muddled through. Now, well, what kind of art you been working on here lately, Bill?
uh, Kind of took a break from it for a little bit. Been so busy with everything else, uh, and I've been reposting some of my older sketches because, quite frankly, I got almost 500 sketches, and I know everybody hasn't seen them all. So,
Well, no time
you
like the
know,
present. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
keep on posting them.
what was uh, you know, kind of old to some, new to others, who didn't see them. So, but yeah, and doing a lot of promoting in that. I've been using the Facebook Your Story to do a bunch of crazy promoting using the music and some of
Yeah,
my memes and all that stuff. And
that's 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 the one where it automatically deletes itself after a certain period of time.
yeah, yeah, it's like
Okay.
48 hours or something like that, which is fine by me. But over on the artwork channel, we had Don Knott's birthday yesterday. We were remembering Don Knotts, and so I posted one of my sketches of him from the new Scooby Doo movies.
I thought I recognized it.
Yeah, and then last night, I on just my regular Facebook page, I said, if you like Don Knotts, click on Sartin Art 76, head over there, hit the follow button, people,
There
so
you go.
that yeah, so that you can get these notifications when I put something on there. And last night I aired the Ghost and Mr. Chicken movie.
Oh, I haven't seen that
And
in ages. Matter of fact, today I was just thinking about the incredible Mr. Limpet.
mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that one in ages either. But
I used to put the Ghost and Mr. Chicken every year around Halloween. I never have done Incredible Mr. See, you've given me an idea.
well,
So
another good
stay
one.
tuned.
Wasn't it him doing Reluctant Astronaut, or
Mm-hmm.
was that Soupy Sales, or
No,
did they
that
both?
was Don Knotts.
Okay. For
That
some reason, I was wondering. Uh, as soon as I said that, did they both do a very similarly themed movie?
I don't know because I'm not that familiar with. I mean, I know who Soupy Sales was, and that, and I remember watching the show when I was a little kid, but
Oh yeah,
I
he got
don't.
in a
I
lot of
don't
trouble.
remember his movies. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure if he had more than that one, but he was a janitor, and he had a really powerful vacuum cleaner, and he was real big on getting the dust out of the rockets and everything, which is a totally different plot from Reluctant Astronaut.
Yeah,
But
the thing I remember the most about the Reluctant, of course, Ghost and Mr. Chicken. What's everybody going to say? Attaboy, Luther. You know, I mean, everybody says that. And sure enough, one of my Facebook friends posted that in the comments of the movie last night, and I told him, I said I was waiting for somebody to say that. But on the Reluctant Astronaut, the thing that I remember the most was I can't remember if it was his mother or who the woman was. She was always perched in front of the TV set, and whenever a commercial would come on, say if it was for Dad's root beer, she ran in the other room, got a Dad's root beer. And then if the commercial was for margarine or something, then she ran in and got that and brought it. And she was buying all the products that was sponsoring the program she watches, which, you know, but every time it would come on, she would run and get another one and bring it in there. And I just thought that was the kookiest thing, you know, because that's kind of what they want you to do, you know, buy their products, but of course they were kind of poking fun at it, you know.
yeah, when the movie Shock Treatment came out, I laughed a lot about the product placement during some of the songs there, because it looked so 1960s soap opera stuff, which was the theme of it, rather than in Rocky Horror Picture Show, whether it was the 1950s sci-fi horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's thank you for leading me down that little. I'm going to have to go watch that other movie here when I get some spare time. And another thing I'm going to have to do when I get some spare time, I've got to finish tearing down the chicken wire from the old cat pen out in the backyard. We had a 16 by 20 chicken wire pen with a shed inside of it for the cats when they were little kittens and everything, so that the owls and the coyotes and whatnot couldn't get at them. Well, nowadays all of that is inside a much larger 6 foot tall chain link fence, and the cats have given up staying inside that little pen. So my wife and I are slowly getting all that out of the way so that I can build our greenhouse and everything back there, and that's going to be a real interesting project. I'm wondering what is broken or missing out of the crate full of stuff that I ordered to build a greenhouse with.
You've been talking about building that greenhouse for a while now.
Yeah, well,
did you and Lindsay finally agree on a place to put it?
I've agreed on the place she wants to put it. I don't know if it's the right place, but we're going to try it there. And if I have to move it, well, I'll just hook a chain up to it and hook it to the riding lawnmower and see if I can pull it. But
yeah, I was about to say, Bill, that's what you missed last Saturday. We talked greenhouse.
Greenhouse.
Yep. And if it works out, this one's 8 by 8 foot. If it works out, we've still got the original 6 by 8 foot concrete pad that's attached to the back wall of the house. I can get another one that's 6 by 8 foot, and we can go ahead and do all of our gardening inside the greenhouse, except for the 2 or 3 things that the bugs will not eat, like the poblano peppers and let's see. There were a couple of things. They wouldn't touch my mustard plants. Evidently, it was a little too hot for the stink bugs and whatever that was eating everything else. But no, that's a little bit too hot for me. I'm definitely a mild sauce kind of guy. But I'm looking forward to having tomato plants that don't have the tomatoes eaten by something before I ever get to pick them. So the bugs here have been really, really wild the last 4 years or so. So
well, I was gonna say I did a test garden this year in my behind my privacy fence, and it was let's see, 3 habanero plants, 3 jalapeno plants. Not a bug touched none of them, and cantaloupes, nothing touched them. I planted them right beside it, that little patch, and they are still blooming to this day. Still have 0 cantaloupes, and I'm thinking it's because of the rain, all the rain we've had.
It could be. Now we had a few things come up wild that when spring first started, we went back to the little is like a 3-foot diameter really hard plastic laundry basket. Basically, we had filled up with dirt and planted carrots in, and Lindsay had got all the carrots that had sprouted before winter hit. Went back this spring, and there was just about an equal number of carrots that waited out the entire winter to come up. And she pulled them up. They were about pinky sized. There we go. They're about pinky sized little carrots, but they had huge grains on them. I'm going, I don't think they're going to get any bigger, honey. So she got all of those, and they went into one stir fry, basically. There might have been a lot of them, but there wasn't that much of a mass of them.
When I used to live in Danville, my neighbor across the street, he always planted everything in containers, and that he didn't want to put it out in the yard. He said the bunnies and all them were getting into him too much, so he had them on his front porch. Yep. All over. And I come home from work one night, and he hollered at me, and he says, "Hey, Bill, come on over here a minute." Come up on the porch, and he was sitting up there with his wife, and I got up there, and he had some gardening questions to ask me, and so anyway, we're sitting there talking and stuff. Well, after a while, I said, "Larry," I said, I've been sitting here on the porch with you and your wife for about 20 minutes now, and I have not gotten one skeeter bite at all. And that I said, but I don't see any citronella candles or citronella plants even around here. And he says, "Oh no," he goes, "I got something better." He says, "I got the ghost peppers over there back in the back." He said, and he had 3 different pots that 2 of them had ghost peppers in it, and I mean they were 3.5, 4 foot tall, huge plants. I don't know what he was fertilizing them with or what, and then the other one was jalapenos, and he said, "Yeah," he goes, they don't like to be anywhere around them." He says, "So I put them on the corners and that, and yep. It was perfect."
Okay, that ain't my wife.
That was mine. Talk to a dog.
Oh, but okay.
But Bill, what you just said about jalapenos and stuff, or them plants, I've learned. I think jalapenos and habaneros do not like to be planted by each other.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They need to be
And being that
separated.
these were in pots, I'm sure it probably was all right. But yeah, if they were in the ground, I could understand that. But I've never tried either. I even when I didn't have ulcer problems and that, I stuck to bell peppers and the big Bertha ones for the stuffed peppers and that,
Mhm.
all the safe stuff.
Well, you might like the poblano peppers because they're not hot. They they got just a little teeny tiny bite to it, but it's less than a Tabasco. It's less than a jalapeno. It's about like a bell pepper, but just a little touch of heat more than a bell pepper.
Well, I was about to say it's almost like a mild banana pepper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and evidently, from what I've seen, those are the ones. If you go to a Mexican restaurant, you get a stuffed pepper. That's the one that they use because you can eat the whole thing, and you will not set yourself on fire with them. But they taste like they're hotter than they actually are, without having any heat. Now I don't know how they do that, but they do it. They do it real well. But I have grown to enjoy the things. And the one plant that we had got up to be about 7 feet tall, and it stayed loaded down, and not a single bug touched it. They would not eat those things, and they ate everything else. But I was really disappointed that they ate all my tomatoes. That we get a tomato, and it would get a decent size and start turning red, and the next thing you know, you go out there and there's a hole dug through it where something had been eaten.
Mm-hmm.
And there aren't any rabbits inside the dog pen, so ain't no self-respecting rabbit going to come in amongst 13 cats and be hopping around.
I got them living
that would
out
be
in
an
the yard out
ex-rabbit
here.
right there.
I was about to say that's when you start eating green tomatoes there.
Mm-hmm.
I generally take a couple of the green tomatoes and come up in my little jar of pickled peppers. Now I've got folks at work that will grow just this amazing variety of peppers, and they'll just bring 2 or 3 grocery sacks full and lay them on the table in the break room and go, "Y'all get what you want." And we have learned which ones are the habaneros and which ones are the Carolina Reapers and which ones are the ghost peppers. And those get left behind quite a lot. But the chilies and the cayennes and the Tabascos and things like that, they disappear real quick. So I grab a handful of the ones I know I can stand and bring them home. Put on some neoprene or rubber gloves that they give us at work, like surgical gloves, and I'll chop them peppers up and I'll put them in a jar and put apple cider vinegar in there and put it in the fridge. And I did it one time. Those great big huge pickle jars, like about 2.5 gallon pickle jars.
Mm-hmm.
I had one of those just absolutely full of all kinds of different peppers. And I had made a batch of chili, and my wife noticed that the inside of the lid was starting to rust. So she dumped it out in the woods instead of putting a fresh lid on it. She got rid of the entire thing. It's like some of it were like 5 years old in there. I mean, when I made a batch of chili, I'd just take some salad tongs and reach down in there and grab a handful and drop them in the crock pot with the chili. I didn't care what they were, and as long as I didn't use more than 1 or 2 tongs full of them, it would still be mild enough for both of us to eat. Now, if I went overboard, I was going to eat all that chili by myself, but and which I can do. Now I tell you, I can put away some chili, but I really like for her to enjoy some too. So I try and make it as mild as possible. Not to mention the fact that I can't handle anything hotter than a jalapeno, and not very many of those. Actually, here's a story for you. The first time that I ever actually had jalapenos, a friend of mine took me to a party, and they had nachos laid out there with everything on them you could wish for. And my dad had pretty much grown chilies and Tabascos and cayenne peppers all my life, and he just loved them. He just loved them. Uh, they didn't; those varieties didn't get too hot for him, and I got to where I could tolerate a few bites of one, but I couldn't eat a whole pepper. Well, I got there, and they had this buffet spread out with just a huge rack of nachos, and I sat there and I pigged out. For some reason, I had reached the age where jalapenos tasted real good. The next day, I had to call in to work because when you eat that many jalapeno peppers, there are reactions in the gastronomical tract. Let's just say that I could have competed with SpaceX right about then for flame.
A little methane.
Methane, hell, we're talking the nuclear jet here.
Well, yeah, Bill wasn't on last Saturday. Yeah, I think everybody was wanting chili last week, or I think,
Everybody.
I cooked chili last Saturday, and
Lewis was cooking some,
yeah.
And John had got the makings of chili, but he hadn't made it yet, and Joe Dog had his usual Taco Bell. But
when I was a teenager, my mom would always she made the best chili that my friends would always think. But she would never make chili until the very first snow of the season. Now, it didn't have to be accumulating, but a somewhat decently good snow. But the very first one, she would make big old pot of chili, and she would have to make about double the recipe or more because all my friends, all my brother's friends, all of our neighbors, they go, oh, it's first snow. Rosalinda's going to be making chili, and they would all show up that day, just, oh, we haven't seen you for a while, come on in, get you a bowl,
Yeah, really.
She knew right away.
Yeah. Instead of, can I borrow a cup of sugar? It's, let me have a couple bowls of chili, please.
Yeah. Well, I can't do nothing hot, Dan. And Josh knows this and that, mainly because of my ulcers.
You said you had
reflux.
ulcers, yeah.
Yeah, between that and reflux, it's just not a good thing. And
no.
So, but what I'm waiting on is we got up here. Well, I'm about to say up in Illinois, but actually it's over in Indiana, called Sandtown, Indiana. And it's a part of Indiana where the soil is extremely sandy. So they grow a lot of melons and cantaloupes and stuff there and other things, sweet corn and stuff. But they have these watermelons, and they call them cannonballs, but I always known them as sugar babies. And they were the basketball size with the really dark green rind on the outside, no stripes. And they were the sweetest watermelons I ever had in my life. Another one that's really close to them were Black Diamond watermelons. Mm-hmm. So anyway, they've had some watermelons the last couple of weeks or so. they have a stand over in Danville, on Georgetown Road in South Danville. And if Donna and Carl was still on here, they'd know what I'm talking about. But they have really good produce, but until their melons get ripe enough for them to harvest and bring them over, they get melons from like down south in Vincennes, Indiana, and a couple places like that. And they're not bad, but they are no sugar babies. And so supposedly, Monday, Laura took me out to supper for my birthday, and where we ate was right down the road from Pearson's melon stand. And I said, hey, before we, right after we leave here, let's go see if they got sugar babies in yet. Because I was told a couple weeks. And anyway, so we went there, and the guy says, oh, we're supposed to be harvesting them this week and have them this weekend. So here in a couple more days there, I'm going to be checking them out on that, because they're, I guess, and I did not know this, I should have known it, but after they plant a certain variety of melon or cantaloupe and that, they can only do that for so many years. And then basically they just have to stop that particular variety and, go with something else. So that's what happened with the sugar baby. They got to where they couldn't plant them for 6-7 years, and I was crying my eyes out.
Crop rotation. Each plant takes a different kind of minerals out of the soil, and you got to plant something else that would put that back. It's sort of like if you got a cornfield, you can plant it with corn a few times, but then after that, you need to grow soybeans there to put all the nitrogen back in the soil, because corn really loves nitrogen, and soybeans take nitrogen out of the air and put it right down in the dirt. It rebuilds everything.
Soybean or cotton?
Yeah,
I don't know nothing about cotton except that I don't ever want to have to deal with any. That looks like too much work.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of that down in Selma, and
Yep.
it's like there's no way I could. I mean, they were going. A lot of them were going through, harvesting it the old style way. I'm like, are they just doing this for show or what? And they said, no, that's how a lot of them do it.
Well, they plant it all up and down the river down here. They'll swap each field out. You have one cornfield, and they'll plow that up because the corn will produce earlier than most everything.
Yeah.
And then they'll do like soybean or cotton, and then they'll be cotton, soybean, each field like that, right on the river.
And then put winter wheat after that.
Yep. And then the next year it'll be totally different. So
yeah, got to swap things around to make sure the soil doesn't get depleted.
Yeah, Dan, you're right about
the way that different plants will recharge bits of the soil.
I was going to say, Dan, you're right about the corn and soybean rotating those two crops. That's what they do up here a lot. And so I got, even though I call it Cornfield County up here jokingly, and believe me, it is. And but
I used to watch Hee Haw. I get the reference.
Yeah, did you see who wished me a happy birthday on my Facebook page?
Well, I know I did, but
well, yeah, but I mean, she sent from Hee Haw.
Oh, Misty!
Beautiful picture. Yeah. She's a real dear, sweet woman, and that, and she is still doing some stuff with a few of the Hee Haw Honeys. One of them, believe it or not, being Lulu Romine.
Oh,
I thought little Lulu passed away.
Evidently not.
Well, let's put it this way. Because of COVID last year, things got shut down, but the things that she was doing from the year prior to that. And, but yeah, there's about 5 of them that get together and they go do shows and stuff. And I always see when she's posting stuff on there. And yeah, but back to the corn soybean thing. I got soybean across the road this year and had corn last year, of course. When I lived at the Yellow House, before I moved here to Oakwood, I had the woods that I affectionately called the 100th Acre Woods. And then on the other side of that was a bean field over there. And I don't know who it was that planted that field, but he planted soybeans every single year. Every year. He didn't rotate them out or anything. And I'll tell you what, after my 2nd or 3rd year living there, I could tell what happens if you keep planting that same crop, because this thing looked horrible. And last summer, it looked like it was a drought and disease and everything else.
Yep.
I was about to say, Bill took, he called me when he was walking up through there and showed me that, and I was like, man, that looks like crap.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep. That's a good signal. You need to be planting something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if you got to cut your losses and plow that under. And sometimes you have to do that. I'll be right back, gentlemen. I got to go to the beer fridge.
Okay.
Bring me one back, Dan.
Well, I kind of killed my brown bottle, and my brown bottle is Dad's root beer. When I was at Menards today, I almost got some of that good Sprecher's root beer, and I forgot I had a 4-pack of this Dad's here. I bought it because I haven't had it for a long time, but it's pretty darn good stuff.
Well, I can't get that down here, so.
Yeah, you might be able to order it. I don't know. Walmart was carrying Sprecher's root beer for a while. And then all of a sudden they didn't, and I still see the Sprecher's cream soda and that there.
I was about to say, I probably have to order, Amazon probably has it, or somewhere like that.
Well, the one thing I saw with the Sprecher's, and I know a lot of the other Rising Tide people like that kind of root beer, but when I was, they have a low-cal Sprecher's, which is what Laura drinks, and I actually got some of her low-cal Sprecher's root beer in my fridge, and with a couple bottles of mine in there, and but I have they got a maple root beer, which I did try a bottle of that one time. As much as I love root beer, as much as I love maple, this
that don't even sound.
It wasn't horrible tasting, but it wasn't good tasting. It was just kind of blah. And but one thing new that I noticed that they have, and I almost grabbed some, was they actually have Sprecher's has a caffeinated root beer now. And I thought, man, that might be interesting. And I'm usually drinking the root beer while we're doing these shows because of it going late, but so I just, but yeah, that was a new one on me. And
Bill, I've got these wireless buds in, earbuds in. Are they sounding all right?
yeah, they're doing
Okay.
good. And you got to get that
Yeah, I know. I
that
gotta get
camera
camera
set down.
stand.
You're making me
Well,
seasick, Josh.
man, yeah, I gotta get,
Yeah,
I gotta get that tripod. I know.
get off that roller coaster, Josh. Now, and
Sorry.
but
Yeah,
I
I gotta get
saw,
the tripod.
yeah, I saw, but so I didn't. I had a small glitch when Skunk was explaining to you what to do with your computer, and what was it? And I meant to ask him when I got back, but we got on something else.
He to a bunch of detail. I told him he just needed to get up with me because he was, he gets long-winded a little bit.
Yeah, he's a good boy, but he gets enthusiastic about everything, and you really just hate to interrupt him, even though you would like to go on to another topic. But
Well, I was asking him about what advice he was giving Josh about getting audio hooked up so he doesn't have to come on his phone and come on his laptop instead. And about the time when Skunk was telling Josh what he needed to do, my Wi-Fi went wonky on me for about 30 seconds, and so I kind of missed out on what he said.
well, basically, it was go down to Best Buy or one of the other stores that sells decent quality stuff, and pick up something that is about like what you got now, but a little bit smoother. And I was going to point out, well, I went down to Kroger and bought these for $20. I didn't have to spend $50 at Best Buy. So if my voice is coming out just fine and I can hear y'all just perfectly well, so
yeah, your audio's always been good.
well, it's just
No, what advice he gave to me, what advice Skunk gave to me on the headsets, I greatly appreciate that. And actually, this weekend, I it's kind of freed up, so won't be going to Chicago, so I'll be able to see you guys Saturday night, at regular time and not be zonked out of my mind, but
hey,
dead tired. But anyway, but I think I will probably make our closest Best Buys in Champaign. And I was actually over there Tuesday to Champaign, but not the Best Buy. And I may that Logitech or whatever. I may check into something like that and try to talk to somebody that actually knows what they're talking about, because
it's hard to find those in a store. It really
right.
is. A lot of them are just trying to sell you whatever's the most expensive thing on the shelf,
or
rather than what
anything
you
at all.
need.
Yeah. And I went to Menards today, not to buy headsets. I went there looking for hanging baskets in the garden center because I knew they would be marked down by now. And they were, but they were scraggly. So I went back inside the store and I got looking around and I saw these one sets. I'm like, oh, headsets with a microphone. And I got to thinking, well, yeah, they got a somewhat extensive electronics department over in Menards. That's actually where I bought, when I was living at the Yellow House, I bought my digital outdoor antenna that looks like the old school antenna, and put it up on a tripod on the roof and did really well. I got about 30 some channels for free, and that was before I ever had a smart TV and that, but that was just over the air. But so I went over there and I got this one set, and it was $30 some, and it said gaming headset. And I asked these two kids, and I knew they were kids, but I said, which one of you is the techno guru, you know? And they kind of looked at each other, and that should have raised a red flag right there. But so they came
obviously
in,
neither one of them.
right. And and I don't know, but I knew I wanted, instead of the cordless, because cordless will eventually, lose its charge. But I just wanted some corded ones and that, and so they told me, oh yeah, I told them, well, it's for a Samsung Galaxy Tab 7 tablet, and we do some podcasts and stuff, and yeah, that'll work on that. Brought it home. Absolutely nothing. I got into a Facebook Messenger room with Josh wants to know if you will hang on just a second. I think you lost the link. He said can you please get or send the link back to me? His phone died, is what it was.
Okay. Let me see here.
Maybe you could probably send that. Can you send that in Messenger, or will he see it here on private chat?
Well, I'm looking for him in Messenger, and I don't see him there. Let me see. I know he's on my friends list, so let me do a search here.
Yeah, because he just messaged me in Messenger.
Josh Kemp, right?
Yep, that's him.
All right. Well, okay, got it. I didn't think the page loaded, but it did. And do that, and go back here to Messenger, and Control V, and there we go. He's got it in his Messenger right now.
Okay.
So
got to be back on here shortly.
Yep.
Shortly, if not longly.
I have told Joe Dog he needs to add both of you to the group message for Stupid O'Clock and everything else, because he sends out one to me and John and Lewis and Skunk, and I don't know if that's all or not, but there should be a couple other people in there whose names are just escaping my mind right now, having a senior moment, I suppose. But it's about damn time. I've been working on it for a while. I told him that he needed to add y'all in here, because you're rapidly becoming regulars on both shows, so that's just fine. And Blake,
Tim Conway, so
yeah.
No, I appreciate it, and that way we wouldn't have to bug you guys, and that Josh is really enjoying being on there. He enjoys all the topics and the people that are talking about them. So there he is.
Yeah, we are an entertaining bunch of crazy folks, and
But anyway,
emphasis on crazy. But
y'all talking about me?
Yeah, but we're only saying nice things.
We're talking about my disgust with buying headsets today. I took the one back, Dan, and I went and I got a different set, brought it back out there, and I tried it, and it's like the cord is working on it, and I'm going to take it back, get the money back, and I'll just go to Best Buy. And much as we were talking about Best Buy, I think they should sponsor Stupid O'Clock there between Joe Dog and Skunk and everybody.
There
Well,
was a time when I could have been a spokesman for Radio Shack, because I bought a lot of 15-inch and 12-inch speakers from them back when I was doing the garage band stuff.
Oh
well,
yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, we did a test earlier, and it seemed like when he was messing with the jack or plug, it seemed like it was going to get louder or whatever, like going to connect, and it just never did
Yeah,
what it
It's
needed to
like
do.
there was a short or something in it, maybe.
Yep.
yep.
Yeah, I was
I, I,
hearing that same thing on my end.
I've been real careful with these. I leave them plugged into the workstation computer most of the time. Every once in a while, I'll unplug them so that I can use the speakers I got hooked up to it, like when I'm working on some music or something, and I don't want to be sitting here with the headphones on the entire time. And I want to hear what it sounds like coming through speakers, rather than, because it will sound different coming through speakers than through headphones. And I'll just unplug it and flip the switch on the back of the little speaker here, and it's got a couple of little treble speakers and one great big bass, and it does sound good. And then back in the day when I was doing the actual CDs, I'd do a mix and have Create Space send me a test CD, and I'd go out to the van and plug it in and see what it sounded like on the car stereo, because that's a totally different kind of stereo than what I've got set up in the house. And if it sounded good on each of them, I knew I had the mix right. But there were times when I had to do it all over again because this bit was too high, the bass was too high, or the bass was too low, or the mid range was way out of sync with other stuff, and I'd have to redo it all over again and get them to send me another one for a test. And once I had it right, I'd go ahead and publish it. But those days are long gone, because Create Space no longer exists anymore. Amazon has
Right.
they've said everybody's doing digital downloads now, so we can't make any money off of physical CDs. So I went to Bandcamp, and when I upload something to Bandcamp, it sounds exactly on Bandcamp exactly like it sounds when I composed it. So we're doing real good there.
Well, me and Bill was talking the other day, and I was telling him about a buddy of mine that does podcasts, and I bet he's been through, as long as I've known him, probably, what I tell you, Bill, 30, maybe,
A lot. Yeah.
mics. Yeah. He's just, it just gets in his head. He don't sound good. You know how people get when they start
Yeah.
doing podcasts. Hey, and he
Mhm.
used to do radio too, so it bothers the crap out of him. He's got a mixer board and all that crap. So
And
I could
if
pull
I
I could
get a
pull some
new
of that
set,
stuff out of the shed myself.
yeah, if I get a new set, I will keep these just to have as a backup in case something happens. And I'm
That is always smart.
not too awful sure on how good the charge is on them compared to others, and I would love to keep it plugged into the charger the whole time I'm using them, but I have one small problem.
Yeah, that's not a long enough USB cord
Yeah,
there.
I'd be like this. Well, how's
Yep.
everything tonight?
and
But
You
yeah,
can get 12-foot USB cords.
yeah,
That's about as long as they'll will work over. Actually, the 6 or 8-foot ones are better. But
I was
then,
about to say start losing
yep,
sound.
more of it gets soaked up in the wire than it does come out through the plug. So And one thing I have wanted to do was run Ethernet cable through the house instead of using the Wi-Fi. And that way, there would be absolutely no loss of signal as long as the router did not come unplugged from anything or power get shut off or whatever. But
I was about to say you could put a repeater in there.
Yeah, I could if my wife would just allow me to do that. It's like $50. No, we don't need that. Honey,
Yeah,
if it
to
makes you
Lindsay.
happy, you let me spend the money. All right.
Yeah, just spend $50 for wires.
Yeah. And drilling holes and climbing through the attic and trying to run stuff through the wall and yeah. Now, back in the day, I had it set up back here with a little Radio Shack mixing board plugged into my desktop computer, and I was playing records on the stereo in the living room, and I'd send it back here, and I'd make an MP3 out of the songs on the records. But it turns out that having wires running down the hallway for 50 foot is unsightly. So I had to undo that system. But now I've got a USB turntable back here, and I can unstack all my old bills off of it and actually play a record, and it goes straight into the computer. And it came with a program that you can set it to go ahead and automatically make MP3s off of it every break in the album. Now, every break in the album does not necessarily mean an entire song, because if you got songs that pause and then continue, it'll make a separate MP3 file.
I was just thinking of the Beatles, A Day in the Life.
Mm-hmm.
And when it gets down to the final super long note at the end,
yep,
and then you think
chord.
that's you got the chord, but did you ever hear the version? And our local classic rock station here, WKIO out of Champaign, plays this. Just heard it earlier tonight. They play the version that they do the whole long note at the end, and then it sounds a little bit like the record is kind of scratchy, and then it comes back with that backwards laughter talking thing.
Yep.
And which absolutely love. We were in the car. I can't remember where we were going. We heard that and getting ready. They said, "Oh, it's dead air." No, it's not. Wait for it. And there it is.
3, 2,
I will be
1.
right back.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
That's another thing I want to get a good LP player.
Well, I got this one from TJ Maxx.
Oh wow.
They had a good price on them. You can get them online. The only trouble is they're belt drive. So when that rubber band gets a little bit old, you've got to look up where you can buy the replacement belt. The turntable I've got in the living room, it's Kenwood. It is absolutely fantastic. But every 3 years, the rubber band wears out. Whether you are actually using it or not, it gets dry, it gets brittle, and it stretches. So you wind up with stuff going slower and slower and slower. And
can you that Kenwood you got? Can you plug it into a surround sound system?
I've got it plugged into. I believe it's a Sony.
Well, that's what I've got a Sony receiver. Yeah.
Yep. It's about 120 watts per channel. It's got front and back, left and right. You can hit buttons and isolate one pair or the other or all four, and I leave it on all four because the way I've got my speakers built.
Mine's got a sub with it, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's an older one. It's got
Yeah.
a 5 disc. It's got a 5 disc CD / DVD. It don't play Blu-ray, but it plays regular
Yeah.
DVDs.
I've got one of those, or I don't know if I've still got it or not, but it quit working. It quit playing anything. The laser wore out.
Right.
So I have worn out half a dozen DVD units in the desktop computers over the years, and just take it apart, pull one out, go buy another one, plug it back in. Everything's fine until finally the laser just quits doing anything. You can try the little dust buster disc with a little brush on it to clean the laser head off, but after a while, it doesn't work anymore. Especially now, what got me, what wore mine out the quickest? I had all kinds of VHS recordings of Doctor Who,
doing the back.
and I was burning them to DVD, and I swear I wore out 2 different DVD computer components doing this stuff. Now I've got a bunch of them burned now, and the CDs are still good, but I've got more and more and more as digital copies, and it's a whole lot easier to just fire up the external hard drive with those on it and just look up whatever episode I want to watch and watch it than go through and actually try and pick them out of the DVDs and trying to play that. So
I was about to say I use my USB or flash drive.
yeah,
To watch my download it on that or whatever you want to call it.
well, I got a USB DVD drive right here hooked up to the desktop computer. Plus, there's one that's built into it, but the one that's built into it is upright, and the one that's a USB, it's flat. It's a horizontal rather than vertical. The reason it made a difference was at one time I had some of those little mini discs, and they had a couple of things on it, like cartoons or something, and you put those in the vertical one, and it would fall inside the computer, and I had to take the computer apart to be able to get the disc back. But the horizontal one, it just sits in the tray like a normal thing, and it worked just fine. So I rarely use the vertical one, and I've got a whole bookshelf full of movie and TV show DVDs. Some of them I burn myself, some of them are commercial, and I'll pull something out. Most of the time, it's a Godzilla movie, and it is. Sometimes it's really hard to find an English dub of a Godzilla movie when you don't want to be reading subtitles. And I'm really not fond of subtitles, but I'll put up with them if I have to. But
yeah, that's the same way I am.
now my Lindsay's oldest daughter went out and bought me DVDs of the Cowboy Bebop cartoon, but it was in Japanese with English subtitles. So I went and found a download of the same episodes that are dubbed, and I watched the dubbed ones, and I'm saving the actual disc with the subtitles on it for later. She likes it because she's actually trying to learn Japanese from all the anime and stuff that she watches. So that's a nice hobby if you want to do that. I don't want to go that far.
Yeah, I was about to say it. My wife really does not like the subtitles. So we have the Fire Stick, which uh, some of them are not. We'll just say, um, you know, up and
Yeah.
up.
I think he's talking about his favorite Thin Lizzy album again.
Yeah, there we go. But they've actually cracked down on that stuff, and you can't really watch a lot of stuff now. They got rid of it's called Firelink. That's where you went to get all the hacked. It's basically like LimeWire and all that crap back in the
Yeah.
day.
Yep.
Uh,
Easiest way to get a virus on your computer is to upload LimeWire and start trying to get what what was it called? A torrent. Yeah.
yeah, a torrent. Yeah. Um,
You
but not.
you gotta have a good antivirus to put up with LimeWire.
Oh, absolutely. What was the other ones? Bear Share. I mean, name it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but which these right here are, these are, they call them APKs, but uh, which I've never downloaded one. I just watched the movie, and most of them, I say most of them, a lot of them come with, they'll have subtitles when they don't need subtitles. It'll be in the movie will be in English,
Mm-hmm. And
and
that's
it'll
one thing
drive
that
my it'll drive my wife nuts. So,
my wife is the other way around because her family has a history of deafness and she's gradually losing her hearing. So she has the TV way up loud and the subtitles on. And
mm,
the thing is, the people that have done the subtitles obviously do not speak English because they cannot.
keep up.
She's been watching some stuff and she goes, I had to turn the subtitles off. That was some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Do you not speak English? You're trying to type in it. Do you not speak it? Do you not comprehend?
Oh man.
And I'm trying to tell her, no, this is some computer program that's listening to the audio and trying to render it as text, like it was one of those speech to text dictation programs. And
Yep.
it's, unless you actually sit down and teach it how to pronounce something with the different accents that are going to be used, it's going to give you gibberish every time.
It's funny when I'm watching Nevermind the Furthermore in the mornings. For whatever reason, this Galaxy Tab 7 tablet wants to put on the closed caption on the bottom of it and starts
Mm-hmm.
flashing it. And Brian will get going on something, whether it's about something with, he was something with Jake Lindsay the other morning. I think Jake got his first shot. He got the Moderna shot or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about it, and Jake was a little anxious about it. And so Brian kind of got going, and then some other people popped in there and that, and Ryan gets on a roll, and I'm watching as I'm eating my breakfast and that and doing some other stuff. And then I get looking, I usually ignore the closed caption at the bottom because it's real small.
Yeah.
Just barely fits in the middle of the screen, but not very wide at all. And I actually paid attention to it, and some of the words that it was making out of what Brian was saying was just hilarious. and I tried to do a couple screenshots just to turn around, and I thought, well, I can't show a screenshot in the comments, so this is kind of work, but I couldn't get it on time anyway. But it was absolutely wonderful. I sit there and I watched it for about 15 minutes, listening to what he was saying just to see what the closed caption bot was going to make out of it, you know.
Yeah, me and Kimberly, Bill, we watched. You wouldn't like it because said you don't like slasher movies, but
No, I do not.
nah, she does. But what's Purge, the new Purge. They was finally a decent copy of that, and yeah, I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. It's a decent movie, but it's a typical liberal movie. It's trying to pit Mexicans against white people in the movie. So,
Who was the director and producer of it?
don't ask. I'm not John. I'm not. I'm not the Google guy.
Where's John when you need him?
Yeah, I'm not John.
Yeah.
So.
Some of us don't read the credits. We just watch the movies.
Well, and the reason why I ask is that not all directors and producers and that are screenwriters and that have a political agenda, but then again, some do.
Well, all of them movies have been political. So
yeah,
we watched what's the name of it? Something Quiet Place Part 2. It was actually decent. There's a new Bruce Willis movie out. That's pretty good.
Is that on Netflix? Because I just saw
Yeah.
something with Bruce in it on Netflix.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I saw the advertisement for it.
Yeah.
I may watch it later
Yeah.
because I do like the way he does things.
Yeah. It's I'd probably give it 7 or 8 out of 10 on that. So
yeah, on Netflix, I'm waiting for the third season of Umbrella Academy and the third and last season of that new Lost in Space remake, because that's been really, really good. I mean, it's kind of in the spirit of the original show, but not in the details. It's totally different stories, but it's kind of got the spirit of it.
I hadn't watched any of that on Netflix just because I don't have Netflix, but I'll have to check it out just to see just see how it looks.
Bill Mumy, the original actor for Will Robinson, is actually in the first ever episode as Dr. Smith, and the girl that turns out to pretend to be Dr. Smith smacks him upside the head, steals his ID, and runs on to the Jupiter 2, like the original Dr. Smith hid out on the Jupiter 2, and becomes the kind of semi-villain of the whole thing. But it was really neat that they actually asked Bill to do a part in this
remake.
Yeah, he was glad to do it because he used to do the scripting for the Space Family Robinson Gold Key card comic book.
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
He wrote a bunch of those. Wrote a bunch of those.
Hell, I'm trying to think of all these damn TV channels are doing their own streaming crap now.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
One of my favorite TV shows, SEAL Team. I don't know if you.
I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
Great TV show. Obviously, the name of it gives it away. But they're moving it from CBS to freaking Paramount Plus or whatever it's called. But if you ever get a chance to watch any of that, check it out.
Yeah, I've missed out on everything that's on Disney Plus because I've got Netflix, and it's got a lot of stuff on it that I enjoy, and I've got the CW network is a free app, and
well, Peacock.
I've been watching all.
Peacock, I think, is free too.
Yeah, I've been watching all the DC superhero shows on CW.
Oh, I've been really enjoying Superman and Lois, and Stargirl comes back for her second season August. I want to say 16th or something like that. I've actually
sometime in the middle of the month. Yeah, I'm waiting for it. That surprised me. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was.
Oh, Luke, what's his name that's in it? Plays the dad.
Yeah.
Oh, good grief. Can't think, he always used to be in the dorky movies all the time, him and his brother.
Kind of reminds me of you.
Well, it's funny you should mention that because
you've been building a giant robot in the garage.
Yeah, well, besides Iron Man Mark 43 here, no,
Your 8-pound toy there.
Yeah, no, actually, Laura called me a dork last night in a text, and the only thing I did was I said, and a McDonald's employee, after working first shift, had to come back and work second shift the same day. He had to work a McDouble. And then she just called me a dork. Said, Bill, you're a dork. And I just don't know why.
That was a good one.
I don't know why.
That was a good one, Bill.
I think she's being mean to me or something. I don't know. But
I would say something, but I'm not.
She might be jealous of your scintillating wit.
Well,
this is not Friday and the other show, so I ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah, and we do have somebody watching us, so
and
it's probably Joe Dog, but then again.
And Dan, I got Josh. Yes, I'm responsible for recruiting Josh for Uncle Carl's Secret Humor Group.
Hey,
and
the more the merrier.
Oh yeah, I dropped a good one in there as soon as I got in.
So Josh is officially eligible to come in the green room tomorrow night.
I was talking about swamp ass.
Yeah.
Down here.
Yeah, I got to watch myself on stupid o'clock on Saturday nights after I've been in the green room on Friday nights because I might accidentally say something green room worthy that would be not quite right for a stupid o'clock.
Well,
I do enjoy being able to cut loose. I swear, it's nice to be able to relax and just say anything that crosses your mind.
Well, that's I kind of took a break from my weather group for a few days because it just get
they're a little uptight sometimes.
Nah, it's not even that. It's just the brain just gets overloaded.
I can well understand. Sometimes at the factory, I'm just shaking my head all day long.
I mean that, and I used to be in political podcasts and stuff like that. And that right there was 10 times, 1,000 times worse.
After last year, it was.
Hell,
But in
But
last, yeah.
well, you're just as far as UWN. I mean, you guys are just getting rebuilt under, you know, restructuring and kind of a rebuilding year. And that you lost one guy, and
So
see, Joe
Joe
Dog.
Joe Dog decided to come back and say, "I'm out of here." It's
All
like,
right,
well,
Joe.
he flounces rather nicely.
Well, he's like the father who comes in the bedroom and
Yeah,
tells
you
the
trying
kids
to?
good night.
I was about to say, you trying to tell us to go to bed?
Hey, he popped in. He popped in the green room last week. It was me and I forget who now.
I was in
Well,
there.
You,
it
it
was
was me
y'all
and Bill.
two.
It was
It
me
was
and Bill,
either Nick or John, one of the two. That was the other one in there.
and he pops in late at night when we're trying to figure out how to say goodnight and get off gracefully, and all of a sudden he's going, "Y'all still here?" We're going, "Well, do we have any other life to live?"
No.
And you notice I was the one that got out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, cause I
Because
got on there and you was gone, Bill, and it was the girl's name. I can't remember her name. Cause
Donna.
uh no Alyssa
no, he
or
was talking about the
Oh yeah,
green room.
Alyssa. Yeah.
yeah, she was on there when I got on there, Bill.
No, he's talking about the green room.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, this was Saturday night on his show. It was late, like it was like 2 o'clock in the morning.
I have that effect on people.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's one reason why I like this, because once it gets late, I wake up rather than go to sleep.
Yeah.
Although I have been known to nod off in the middle of a show.
I
Yeah.
know you ain't did that, have
I have indeed,
you?
and there was one night on it was either Stupid O'Clock or the Stupid After Show before I stepped in with Last Man Standing. And I nodded off, and Joe Dog and John were playing air raid sirens and marching bands and all kind of stuff, trying to wake me up. And I would not wake up. And then, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, it must have been a Saturday night. 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I woke up. I was alone in the room, and there was messages like going, "Dan, we've got you on film." And then
uh,
there was one night in the green room when I did the same thing and just nodded off, and one of the ladies just kind of leaned up into the screen and goes, "Dan, wake up!" And I woke up.
Yeah, that was the night you and me and Anna were in there. We were
Uh huh.
talking about record albums and stuff. So I started bringing in my albums and that, and going on. And then we were talking. Anna was looking. Anna was playing John that night because she was online.
She was looking
I
stuff
said that.
up.
Yeah, she was. I said that I never could find a '78 of Glenn Miller Moonlight Serenade on the original Bluebird label, and lo and behold, Anna found it.
Yep.
And then, so we got talking, and you got real quiet, and then you kind of leaned back, and yep, we knew what that meant.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God Bill ain't seen me go to sleep during the day when he's been on Zello with me. Sorry,
You
Bill.
just don't. You just always sound like you're asleep.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to thank Anna for that one, because she figured out that the quickest way to wake me up is get a sexy woman's voice coming through my headphones, and I will go, "Red alert!"
Yeah, just say my name.
Oh, let's see. We've been at it for hour and 21 minutes now, and it's almost 12:30. my alarm clock goes off at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I don't want y'all to be paging Anna to wake my ass up and tell me to go to bed. So
Yeah, I was about to say, I forget you got to work tomorrow.
yeah, 30 more months, and that's it. I retire, and Lord knows, last man standing might become an every night thing.
Well, I'd be happy for that.
Well, I would too, because you know, I'm getting to the point to where if I sit down and start reading my email at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going to nod off because some of my email is real boring.
Well,
I don't
I've
care
been
what you've been trying to get in touch with me about my car warranty. The car ain't had a warranty in 20 years.
I will tell you if you want. I've been working on something as we've been talking here and then on Stupid O'Clock.
Yeah, man.
Creating a new meme. Well, Josh wouldn't know this, but Dan, you would know how much of an Ultraman fan that Brian K. Morris is.
So am I.
And I saw something today at Myers that made me think of him. So I snapped a picture of it with my phone, and I made a meme. I'll post it in Uncle Carl's Secret Humor group tomorrow.
I look
and
forward to seeing it.
It'll probably get him in trouble with Cookie, but well, hey, that's the whole point of the group.
I think Cookie will forgive him. After all, it wasn't him that made the meme. Whether or not she'll forgive you is another thing coming.
Yeah. But anyway, so, but
somebody just scheduled a video for 10 o'clock tomorrow.
10 o'clock.
I don't know. Yep. I didn't see whether it was 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. It might be, never mind the furthermore.
Yeah, well, that would be, because Brian's Eastern.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah. So.
Yeah, that's that damn alert that goes off down early in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm messing with you, Brian. I don't care.
Well, gents, I'm
all
about
right.
to play the end credits and bring this to a close. It has been enormous fun, as it always is with you two. And thank you both for being here. And
thank you, sir.
We will do it again Saturday night, only later.
Yes, sir.
Yep. I'll definitely not be drinking caffeine. Well, maybe I should be drinking caffeine that night.
You heard what he said. You heard what he said. He would not be drinking.
Well, right now I got my Yeti, like Skunk wanted me to get. So I got my Yeti. I don't think that's what he meant, but
no.
But I just have spring water in it, and that's for my medicine. So, but we don't have to go back to Chicago until Tuesday. So Saturday night should be I should be on time.
Get you some Indian water.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hang out with Carl and Donna long enough, you be dipping into something a little stronger, or wishing you could.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, I appreciate you letting me hanging out, brother.
Yeah,
my pleasure.
Dan,
my pleasure.
See you tomorrow night in the green room, and after the auction.
We'll see all three of us in the green room.
And John,
bring me along.
And hopefully I'll be seeing double. So
you gotta go on Uncle Carl's Secret Humor group in the group, and then tap on rooms at the top of the page, and then you'll see where he creates it.
Bill, you just have to remind me about that tomorrow.
We got to take him by the hand and lead him to church.
Yeah. I'm a Southern Baptist, so it'll be all right.
This
So
is
am
a
I.
green room. You'll have a another denomination you're gonna add to
Yeah,
the collection.
Several.
there we go. All right,
Well,
brother.
y'all have a good night. And, bye, con Dios amigos.
¿Cómo
Good night, y'all.
está?
Thank you very much.
All right, bye bye.